At 2.5. Keep an eye on that. Should be a good game.
Okay.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
We be out. Thanks for being with us. We'll continue our coverage of West Virginia and Oklahoma State coming up tomorrow, and high school football as well, as we head down the stretch we go to the end of the regular season. Thanks for being with us. Adriana Lenhart, our producer here this evening. Back again tomorrow at 6:06 on the CityNet Statewide Sports Line.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sports Line is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another exciting week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders took the long trip to the southwestern coalfields and got a huge win over Mingo Central, 25-0. That will set up a big test this week. Number 1 versus number 2, Roane County versus North Marion. Raider football is brought to you all season long by these supporting sponsors: Penna's Barbershop, Roane General Hospital, Route 33 Steakhouse and La Finca Mexican Restaurant, Macintosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law PLLC, APS Air Production and Service Inc., Old Fences Realty, Stats Pharmacy, Richard's Lawn and Garden, Miller's Suds and Sales, Anita Harold Ashley for Circuit Judge, Phoenix Nutrition, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Health Care, Groves Auto, Ford Depew Realty, Norman L. Daniels, State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, Josh Downey for Circuit Judge, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Minnie Hamilton Health System, Boca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, INS Intelligent Network Security, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Philip Deaver for Roane County Sheriff, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pregame coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Well. Welcome. That was pretty excitable. That was the first time I've felt really, really good for quite a while on this Wednesday evening. 25th? Is it possible it's the 25th of October? My goodness, it's almost November. Doesn't seem like it's right. Welcome to the Raider Review, Andrew Miller, and again, finally back for whenever he feels like showing up, John Penna.
Oh.
I don't know why you wouldn't show up all the time with all the grief we give you when you do.
Well, I mean, I'm not just like not doing anything. Not just like hanging out. I'm actually working.
Seems a lot like your wife is working and you are relaxing.
Come on.
That or Matt Casto's working.
Depends on what Matt Casto's work schedule's like. That's when I'm able to get the most work done.
Well, you missed a lot last week.
I watched.
Yeah, you missed it. It's okay. It's all right. I'm over it. I'm good. I'm solid now. You weren't here to hold my hand through all of the stress and frustration of my medical conditions. But Coach Paul Burdett was. I appreciate Coach Paul Burdett more now than even ever before.
I'm always concerned for you.
He didn't even have to he always gives of his time, but now he's giving of his mental energy. to make sure I'm okay.
Well, I helped you out today.
That you did. You made me look like a human being again. I was joking with Don. I hadn't had a haircut, nor had I had a shave or even a beard trim in a while.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at, I don't know about the beard, but the hair, probably a good 2 months.
Definitely before the hospital stay.
Oh,
So,
before the wedding.
so John, I went over to say hi and relax and talk, and he's like, "Get here, get on the chair." And so I
Look
went,
homeless.
and he said, "You want me to take care of the beard too?" I said, "Just get rid of it all." And now I'm cold. I said, "I look like a grub worm right now. I have no hair on my face. It's the first time I've had that in a long time." So, anyways, it's been a good week. It's been a good week for Raider sports, specifically high school football. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. But we got a lot of other things to cover. Obviously, Roane County Lady Raider volleyball, they've had a rough couple of matches, most recently, I should say. They haven't been on top of their game. Went to the Saturday LKC Night of Champions Conference Tournament. Roane County was the number 1 seed in the East. And the number 1 seed in the West, I do believe, was Ravenswood. But it was Williamstown who defended their title, defending state class single A volleyball champions, defended their LKC title on Saturday. Roane County defeated Tyler Consolidated in the first match of the morning. And they followed that up with a loss to Ritchie County in 2 straight sets. Ritchie ended up advancing to play for the championship. They finished second in the conference. It was pool play. Pool A and Pool B, 4 teams in each. The winner of both pools played for the championship. The second-place teams played for third and fourth, and so on and so forth. In the third match, Roane County faced their nemesis, their rival, Clay County. Roane County, dominant in set number 1, defeated Clay County 25-15. Got a sense that the Lady Raiders were going to be playing very well, and then things kind of fell apart. In the second set, Roane County lost, even with a comeback attempt. And then in the third set, Roane County no match for Clay County. The Panthers defeated Roane County in 3 sets to advance to the third-place match. Roane County fell into the 5th and 6th place match against Gilmer County. Boy, they beat the Lady Titans 2-0 earlier in the season, John, in swift fashion, if you want to call it that. Since then,
The first couple.
yeah, it was a Saturday tournament at Sissonville, and Roane County beat Gilmer 2-0. Since then, they've played 3 times, and Roane County has won just 1 set against the Titans. Titans defeated Roane County in 2 straight sets.
They've got those twin girls.
Oh, yeah, the Dobbinses.
Yeah, they're very athletic.
2 6'4" sophomores, Ava and Blair, daughters of the 6'4" former center for the basketball team. And they were good, yeah, but they've got a lot of other players that are quite good on that team as well. Makes you scratch your head how good Roane County was playing earlier in the season. So Roane County had a tough day there Saturday. Finished 6th in the conference. Still, being in that top 6 is always a good thing when you look at the LKC conference, one of the tougher conferences in volleyball every year. So they transitioned to Tuesday night last night. So they had a quad last night against South Charleston, Gilmer County again, and Charleston Catholic. Roane County played South Charleston first, dominating the first set again, defeating South Charleston handily. And then after that, again, things got really, really rough for Roane County. And you're just like, what's going on with this Lady Raider volleyball team right now? They've lost some confidence. They've lost some execution, some communication issues, all bundling together right now after coming in to the LKC tournament, winning 6 of 7 and playing such confidently. They came back, though, after a tough loss to South Charleston and battled Gilmer County. Felt like they got some of it back, finally. Not all of it. Didn't play well in the nighttime match against Charleston Catholic, losing in 2 sets. But it looked like they had the ability to come back and get back into it. They've got one more try this week They'll travel to Ravenswood. They'll face Ravenswood and Sissonville on Thursday evening. And then it is ready for postseason time, John. Next Monday, Roane County will host. They are the number 1 seed in the section. They defeated Braxton, Clay, and Lewis County, all three, the first 3 times they played. Roane County's the number 1 seed. They'll host Braxton on Monday. And the winner of that one will advance to the championship match on Thursday. It'll be hosted by Roane County. The opposite side is Lewis versus Clay. Roane County's going to be a little bit short-handed next week. Coach Paul Burdett, you've got some information on that. We're going to be missing some girls who are going to be competing still all the way out in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, so we got 3 girls. My daughter, Lexi Burdett, Lexi Mitchell, and Miss Greyhouse are all 3 going to Indianapolis to compete on the national stage in a poultry judging contest. They won the poultry contest at the state level last year, and the way it works with those competitions is if you win it, our high school also just won the state poultry competition this year. So this year's team that won it this year will compete next year. The girls that won it last year are competing this year. So those 3 girls will not be in attendance. I think they leave Tuesday, maybe Wednesday morning, Tuesday, somewhere in there. I'm not completely sure about that when they leave, but I'm not. There's some motion with the comeback. I'm not sure what time that is either. I'm not sure if they leave Saturday morning. I'm not positive if they leave Friday. I'm not positive. I'm worried about North Marion. I know Lexi's going to be gone next week, and they're not going to be a part of sectional play.
We did know that we'd be missing those 3 due to Coach Burdett last week. He was like, there's going to be girls gone. I said, well, even with those 3 gone, we've got a very, very good couple backups as well. Braxton County struggling this year. You would think. Now, don't count your chickens, obviously, before the eggs get beat or whatever it is. I don't know how that works, but
I think it's don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Before they're hatched, that's right. Before the eggs are scrambled or something.
Did you do more than cut his hair today?
He gave me a frontal lobotomy is what he gave me today. That was part of his medical treatment. So if Roane County is able to win on Monday, which, you would expect Roane County to take care of business, but again, they got to play the matches. But if Roane County happens to win, they'll host on Thursday. And Toby Ford, yes, thank you. Toby's tuning in. He was giving me all the info during the quad last night. Toby, correct me if I am wrong. If you make it to the sectional championship, you are in the region, correct? I believe that's how it worked last year, at least. So hopefully that is still correct, that if Roane County makes it to the championship, the 2 championship teams will be playing in the region. And Toby, it's not that I don't want you back. It's just that John Penna is just so scattered that he shows up when he shows up, and I don't have the ability to say, hey, you want to come take care of this for John, because he usually cancels like the last minute. So
it's not true, Toby. The first time this year, I told him to make sure he messaged you. And then the second time, there was the senior night volleyball. So I assumed that it would be a senior volleyball over the Raider Review. And I messaged him about 3 o'clock that day. You
know what happens when you assume, John?
Mm-hmm. Something about Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman. I'll leave that out there. So, Lady Raiders have an opportunity to get back on track Thursday night and get themselves ready for sectional tournament play next Monday at 6 p.m. at the Castle. We invite everybody to come out there and please support the Lady Raider volleyball team. They've had a good year, and they want to continue to working hard to finish out with a solid finish to the season. There's 3 senior captains, 5 seniors on the team. hopefully that they are going to finish out their careers nicely. Toby Ford wanted to remind everybody, cheerleading regional also on Saturday at Lincoln High School at 10 a.m. The regional volleyball tournament will be Saturday, the 4th of November as well. That will be at Philip Barber High School. So possibility of a lot of action going on that Saturday at Lincoln High School and Philip Barber High School. And, of course, you know, we'll not continue to count the chickens, but Roane County may still be in the playoffs at that point in football and maybe having a game on Saturday. Who knows what's going to be happening at that point.
What date's that?
The 4th of November. That's way beyond your comprehension right now, Coach Burdett. Don't worry about that.
What the real question is right now is, what if it rains on Halloween, Toby? What happens?
Ooh, Toby, what happens? Yes, give him that question.
We've already pushed it back. You guys got to keep up with the times. It's on Facebook today. It's like November the 2nd.
John wants to know from Toby Ford, what happens if it rains on Halloween night, the 31st, Tuesday, right?
It doesn't matter. It's already been pushed back.
Wait, it's already been pushed back?
So we're late to the party.
Yes, as usual.
I bought all that candy today in preparation of Tuesday next week.
Looks like you're going to get some candy.
Yeah.
You're going to eat a little bit of that candy.
Your kids are going to eat that candy. That's what's going to happen.
I swear I read it today.
Toby Ford says trick or treat is now 11/2.
And thank you.
Thursday night now.
You're welcome.
We're the last ones in Rome.
How can you have trick or treating in November?
You can trick and treat anytime you want. You could have it in June if you want.
When in Rome.
I guess so.
Trick or treat. Smell my feet.
Give me something
Good to eat.
good to eat. Anyways, back to sports. Cross-country team finishing up their season this past week. They had all 5 runners competing in the Class AA Regional, and that was held in Elkins, Region 2 meet. Boy, Addie Taylor, what a season the freshman has had. She's had a great season. She's been ranked now into the top 50 and better. And she was just this far. People can't see what I'm showing, but just very, very close to being one of those qualifiers, one of those individual qualifiers for the state meet. She finishes 15th. So close.
You had to finish in the top 10, right?
I believe the top 12.
Oh, man.
And maybe, again, let's get Toby Ford to let us know for sure. I know it's the top something, and she is just out of the top. And she finished with a time of 27 minutes, 5.36 seconds. Marissa Roberts also having a tremendous final meet here this year, 23rd. And she finished with a time of 29:08.26. On the boys' side, Noah Bragg, he's had a great season this year, finishing 22nd with a time of 22:08.15. Nick Taylor, 25th, 23:20.48. And Chase Pope finishing 33rd, 26:04.69 in that one. Of course, all individual scores. And Tony McGinnis said it is the top 10, guys. So she just missed the top 10. Well, I should never question John Penna. He knows what he's talking about, of course.
Well, it's because I had Noah Bragg in the shop yesterday. We talked
did you?
for 30 minutes about cross-country stuff.
So a very strong finish to the cross-country season for the 2 ladies and the 3 boys that ran this year. So look forward to them coming back and competing next year. Got a lot of youth on that team.
Only senior, right?
Yeah, Marissa would be the one senior on the crew. So opportunity for, and again, we'd like to see more numbers. Hopefully some more people come out and maybe get some team scores going there if they could. So looking forward to that. A good season, though, for the cross-country team, and a lot to look forward to as well. Well, we move on, John Penna. We talk about a little bit of middle school football, and Spencer Middle School. How does this work again this year? I don't know how there was playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Playoffs?
Right.
And Spencer Middle School made a playoff and played Braxton County.
Yeah, so they changed some things up. I'm not completely sure on how everything sets up, but the top 2 teams from their sides of the conference go into a 4-team playoff. And Winner goes on to the championship.
Is it even the top 2 from each side? The way I understood it, maybe they were taking the top 4 teams, period. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense to go 2 from each side.
Right.
But either way, it went from being a 2-team championship to a regular bracketed style finals championship.
Yeah. So Spencer Middle School matched up with the Braxton County Middle School, the Knights, and I was really trying to pay close attention to what was going on, and it was a close game up until about the third quarter, and Braxton was able to pull away. I believe it was 38-14, but it was a close game up until about midway through the third quarter. So. Spencer Middle School able to get into the playoff games, and was just not able to get past Braxton. Braxton's middle school team apparently was very, very good. I did watch a little bit of their game against Clay County. I wanted to see what Spencer was going to be up against, and Braxton looked pretty good. And so Spencer going there and battling them, it bodes well for what the Yellow Jackets were able to do this
Who won
season.
the other side?
Summersville.
Summersville, Braxton. Braxton had beat Summersville earlier in the year. I heard that as I was walking behind Braxton County's band, walking towards the far end of the field at halftime up there.
Yeah.
My job was done at that.
A couple of weeks ago at that point.
Yeah.
Some of the individual stats from that game, Javon Letourneau's had a couple of big games here recently, and I'm sure he just adding to his total for the year. He had 11 carries on the night, 102 on the ground for Javon Letourneau, and 2 TDs. Yeah. Wyatt Brabham, 5 carries for 18 yards. Logan Wilson, 4 carries for 5. Letourneau passing 6 of 16 for 43 yards through the air and a point after try. And Brabham, the main target, 3 catches for 22 yards with that point after try. Wilson, 3 catches for 36 yards. How about this defensively? Cody Howard with 10 tackles, double-figure tackles for Cody Howard, who's only played football for 2 years, right?
Yeah. The unfortunate thing in the game is Logan Wilson ended up with a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
So he's looking at 8 to 10 weeks. Going to be out. He's going to play basketball. So he's going to be back sometime around Christmas, I believe.
Now Wilson defensively with 5 tackles and a pass breakup. Evan Greathouse, 7 tackles with a forced fumble and a pass breakup. Letourneau with 7 and a pass breakup as well. 5 for Wyatt Brabham, 4 for Braden Tolley, 5 for Christian Hall. And then you had 2 from Brock Williams, a tackle from Jackson Miller, a tackle from Brady Rhodes, and a couple of tackles from Maddox Mitchell. Very new to football as well.
94-pounder.
At 94-pounder Maddox Mitchell. Hey, if you could measure heart, he'd weigh more than 94 pounds.
He'd weigh 96.
So a tremendous season for the Yellow Jackets. They made it to the playoffs for the CWVAC, which is a very interesting thing. I like that they're doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, it makes it interesting.
Yeah, it makes it very, very interesting. A lot on tap here. Cannot wait to talk here in just a second to Coach Paul Burdett because we've got Mingo Central on the brain for at least another 20 minutes, and then no more Mingo Central. We're going to talk about another team after that. Got to give our love to DW Excavating. Thanks a bunch to Doug and Angie Walker for continuing to sponsor the Raider Review.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another exciting week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders took the long trip to the southwestern coalfields and got a huge win over Mingo Central, 25-0. That will set up a big test this week. Number 1 versus number 2, Roane County versus North Marion. Raider football is brought to you all season long by these supporting sponsors: Penna's Barbershop, Roane General Hospital, Route 33 Steakhouse and La Finca Mexican Restaurant, Macintosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law PLLC, APS Air Production and Service Inc., Old Fences Realty, Stats Pharmacy, Richard's Lawn and Garden, Miller's Suds and Sales, Anita Harold Ashley for Circuit Judge, Phoenix Nutrition, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, Ford Depew Realty, Norman L. Daniels, State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, Josh Downey for Circuit Judge, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Minnie Hamilton Health System, Boca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, INS, Intelligent Network Security, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Philip Deaver for Roane County Sheriff, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pregame coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
I often wonder what people who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook think that we're talking about while we're on break. We're solving the world's problems here, folks. That's what's happening. Don't worry. We're solving the world's problems. Welcome back to the Raider Review. Hey, I think Brogan knows how to hack into your wife's YouTube account because he said, "Love you, Dad, Brogan." And then he adds, "Love you as well, Drew and John." Appreciate that, Brogan.
He probably knows more about that than his mom does anyways, so as he does over me.
I know he knows more than me.
Yes.
Is that not how kids are these days? They just know technology, and we are trying to catch up. We're dinosaurs, guys. We're dinosaurs.
Keon's got a TikTok of our goat, Timmy the goat. I'll get messages from Timmy the goat every once in a while.
I like that.
Timmy the goat.
There are some who call him Tim. Want to say hi to everybody out there. Rodney Cox said, "Trick or treat still says October 31st, according to the City of Spencer webpage."
Oh, wrong, Rodney. I just got a message, and here it says, City of Spencer, West Virginia. Trick or treat for Spencer and Roane County has been changed to Saturday, November the 2nd.
All of November.
Reedy,
or all of the county.
Reedy will still be Thursday. Spencer will be Saturday, November 2nd. That's
Yes.
2019.
Oh, so could it still be the 31st?
I'm sorry.
Did William Starcher share that?
No, I will not reveal who sent that to me.
Jennifer
They
Hunt,
know who it is.
Jennifer Hunt says, "This post is from 2019.
I think it was William Starcher that posted that. 'Cause I
Is
think
it
William
Will?
Starcher posted one earlier today. Yes.
Was it Will?
Right.
Yeah, it was Will.
I think it says.
Oh, my goodness. Now we have no idea what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Listen, there's a ball game Friday night. That's what matters.
That's what Coach Burdett
I'm just
knows.
Bring your candy and throw to some kids when they walk by. Not the
Speaking
ones on the field.
Speaking of that, I'm going to be covering the Tech or Treat event tomorrow night at the Roane Jackson Technical Center. Invite people to come out, bring your kids for that. First opportunity to snag some candy, number one, and a chance to go see what the Tech Center's doing. They're doing big things over there. It's so much fun. Last year I went over and covered it. It's a lot of fun. And I talked with Don Shepard, who's kind of my contact over there. He's one of the higher-ups. And he said, "Oh, yeah, we did it last year. I think they've done it for a few years." He said, "Last year I think we had a little over 1,000. I'm like, "No way." And he was not lying because they opened the doors at 4 p.m. last year, and it was a rush of human beings, family members.
They have had that for a good while now because, funny story, my nephew Connor, which is a sophomore now, apparently My kids tell the story because they were there doing this. Tyson was there, Connor was there, and apparently Connor didn't know that there was a culvert, and he went off the culvert. So they came back home with the story and said Connor about lost all of his candy because he fell off the culvert. I was like, whoa. But yeah, my kids have been going to that a couple different times. So it's been probably 5 or 6 years, I would say.
A couple of things happening early on. Obviously, tomorrow night, again, I'll be there at 4. I think the event tomorrow starts at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. They'll have all these different booths set up from the different programs at the Roan Jackson Tech Center. Invite you all to come out to that. Stop by our booth and say hi.
So if you get there at 4, get all the Reese's.
Yeah. Listen, I went today, and I loaded up on candy. You know how much I really enjoy giving out candy. And up on East Meadows, there's a bunch of people always. And I pride myself in having the best. I don't care if it puts me in the poorhouse. I'm getting the best chocolate candies you can get on the market. I got all the best stuff. In fact, this year, they had even extra versions of like Kit Kats and
the green ones
and Kit Kats and Twix, and Reese's Pieces or Reese Cups, like in the shape of things, peanut butter, Snickers. I've got it all, guys. If you're looking for some candy, that's where you need to go.
Well, usually Kristen and I come up and we turn our kids loose and let them run wild in the neighborhood, and we help you pass the candy. And we also enjoy the candy.
Yeah, we eat the candy as we're passing it out.
I think it was last year I got some candy from Drew.
Yeah. Donna White tuning in. She says, gee, I can vouch for the candy. I'm coming out of Walmart today with a bunches of bags of candy, and I was throwing it in the truck, and my cart almost got away from being almost banged into her vehicle. I was like, well, that wouldn't have been good. So, yeah, I do have lots of candy for that. Also, here at the station, I bought candy for that, too. So, I've got the hookup because I want to be the best at the candy giveaways. I'm not giving away any elephant peanuts or any of that just random red cinnamon candy that doesn't even have a name on it. No. You're going to get the good stuff when you come up there.
I would fight people for butterscotch candies, though.
Ugh.
I didn't get any butterscotch.
That's disgusting.
I got all chocolate. I got all chocolate. I didn't get any. Well, no, that's not true. I did get one bag that has Skittles in it because I know you like Skittles.
Yes.
So I did get one bag that has some
Skittles.
Skittles.
Guy during broadcast, though.
Okay. Toby Ford says, I'm going to have a trick-or-treat on 11/1 so he can buy candy at half price.
William Starcher says, when is trick-or-treat?
Oh, Willem Ichabod.
Oh, my goodness, we've lost it. Now we don't know when trick-or-treat is. All I know is I'm prepared whenever it does happen. So, I don't know where I went with that. Anyways, let's talk about something that wasn't eerie. Let's talk about last Friday night and Roan County traveling down to the southwestern corner of the state, down in the coal fields of West Virginia. You go down, and then we went all the way up to the top of Minor Mountain and number 1 Roan County, number 6 Mingo Central. A battle defensively in the first half. Your defense continued in the second half, gave up a grand total of 115 yards, unofficial, and gave up a grand total of 31 in the second half, and 23 of that was on a late carry by one of their sophomore running backs.
I don't know, but he was a big lad.
He was a big lad. He was a lad, we call him. But 23 of the 31 yards given up on that play late when you guys already had a 25-0 lead, which turned out to a 25-0 victory in hand. Surprised some people, finally opened some eyes, I think, Coach. Finally, not that you care about that, but it doesn't hurt when people are chattering beforehand, says Roan County's going to come back down to earth, and then you win 25-0.
Back to reality.
Yeah, back to reality.
Number one, Mingo Central's a good football team, and they've proven that throughout this season, and that was a long trip. And be able to take that type of trip, get off the bus, and get yourself in the flavors that those guys were in before the game. After you left with our pregame interview, and I walked back out, and I could hear the guys and knew what kind of flavor they were in. I knew that they were ready to play. And they're not they're not your typical team. They're just not. They prove that they're ready in a different way from others, but it's okay because each team's different. I've come to accept that. I've come to learn that. But I knew they were ready to go. We knew they were ready to go, but to come out and give that type of performance, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and to be honest with you, we did offensively exactly what we wanted to do. With the weather conditions, there was no need to try to get cute with it. We just wanted to come out and get after it, and we did that. And we stalled a couple times in the first quarter because of our own mistakes or my mistakes. I'll take them on my shoulders. I made a couple play calls that probably shouldn't have made. Should have just stuck with the plan, but I was trying to switch it up a little bit, and it cost us. But then, the Vance kid takes off and has a big long run, and Jacob Greathouse runs him down from behind, and then we go 4 plays and just what a performance by those guys, by those 11 guys on those 4 plays. Coach Peary went to our 65, which is our goal line defense, and we had to call a timeout to make sure that our coverage was right because of the personnel that we had in, and we come back out and we're still scrambling a little bit to get our coverage, but Tyson Freeland interrupts the first 2 plays with his surge in the backfield, and then we stop him on the 3rd play, and then on 4th down, we pressure the quarterback. He rolls out. He actually threw a really good ball, and hit I think it was the kid's name was his last name Shepard. It hit him right in the breadbasket, and it was dropped, and the coverage was there. Coben had good coverage. The kid just dropped the ball, and but after that, and you get that momentum swing, because of the long run, Mingo had jumped up on what I figured was the momentum, but by holding that, not only did we take it back, but I think it just exploded through the roof. And then we go on I didn't realize it was a 23-play drive for about 97 yards and finish it off. Jacob, we ran a play action pass, and Jacob had to run around a little bit because of the pressure off the edge. They played guys really wide, so that you just wasn't able to get to them and block them. But we got to what we call our scramble drill when your quarterback has to move, and Lane and Saul started to scramble drill, and Saul came back to the front corner of the end zone, and nobody came with him, and Jacob threw a perfect pass, and Saul made a great catch, and so it was 6-0, and we opted not to kick the extra point just because of the conditions at that time, because it was really raining pretty hard at that point in time, and went for 2 and was not successful. But we carried that momentum in the locker room, and we had a good speech at halftime, and we've kind of been a second half team all year anyways, and no matter how the first half goes, whether it's good or mediocre, I wouldn't say bad because I don't know that we've had a bad one. We just had some that weren't as good. But we come back out in the second half, and our defense was locked down, and offense just drives, and Brandon ran the ball really well. He had a long run on the touchdown drive that really got us moving, and he scored twice in the 3rd quarter. Lane running tough, Clay running tough, Coben running tough, and everybody blocking for each other. That's the beauty of the type of offense that we've kind of molded into, is you really got to be unselfish. You got to be unselfish because everybody's going to run it, but everybody's going to block as well. That it builds a team atmosphere in my opinion, because it's not just on this guy or that guy, it's on everybody.
Well, when you're unselfish, that's when those great things happen for everybody on the team. It's been so impressive to watch the running backs get out and block. Now, you talk about the offensive line. These guys are opening up holes, but then you have those running backs out there leading the way that are just laying some unbelievable blocks, and they're loving that. You can see it. They enjoy that, and that's what's so impressive about the team is just how
they take almost as much enjoyment in putting somebody on their rear end.
It's as much pride as stepping over the goal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you know that again with that type of offense, you got to be. I mean, you got to have something to look forward to every play.
Right.
And they really they do a great job. But fellas, I can't say enough about our defense. And the way those guys played. You know, Mingo tried to throw the ball 14 or 15 times Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. It wasn't. They did not complete very many.
Four.
What was it? 4 completions.
4 of 14.
So our guys covered really well. Our interior, other than one run, really shut the run down.
He had 59.
Yeah, and how much? Most of that was one run.
Oh yeah, 40.
Yeah,
because he had several tackles for losses, and just a great across the board team effort. Special teams again really good. Coben had 3 touchbacks, and the one that they did return, the kid caught it at the 2. We tackled him at the 18, the 20-yard line, something like that.
And you mentioned that in the pregame. We talked about the skill ability that they had on that third rung of football, which is special teams. They had really dangerous weapons in kick return. So to throw it through the end zone, number one, is fantastic. They don't even give it a chance. But when they did have a chance, you guys still covered extremely well.
You know, special teams, I think that's a big difference. I'm telling you, that's a big difference in ball clubs is how much time is spent on the third phase of the game, which is the special teams. Some people just kind of see it as we got to punt or we got to kick off, we got to kick return. But when you take that phase serious and you work on it, and we have worked on it more this year than we ever have. We really, really focus on our special teams throughout Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we cover them all again on Thursday. But we kick every day, and I've never done that before, but every day we kick extra points and we back up and kick field goals every day for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's extra point field goal, and somewhere, obviously it's came in with the extra points. But somewhere down the line, that field goal work is going to come in, and it's going to help us.
Yeah.
Because of the time and the effort and the work that we've put in to doing that each and every day. But there's 3 phases of the game. You got offense, defense, and special teams, and our special teams so far this year has been really good. And I'm not afraid to say it. The focus came from the North Marion game in the playoffs last year. Right. We had an extra point blocked and we had a punt blocked. And, the combination of that, we missed a 2-point conversion. I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, because there was several reasons why. That's just the way it worked out. But in big games, you can't get an extra point block and you can't get a punt block. Yeah. It's just not ideal. And so that's really been a focus this year from the get-go was special teams, and they come up big again Friday night, as well as our defense and our offense. But defensive effort is phenomenal. I can't talk about one of them. It's all the way.
It is all the way.
I want to talk about one real quick. It's the defense. Coach Peary being the guy that's the defensive coordinator. I think back to the Ravenswood teams that we played when they were really dominant, and they just had a swagger. They had a just go get the ball mentality. They were quick off the. It really reminds me of how those defenses played when we were scratching our heads and trying to get something going here at Roane County. I think Coach Peary's done an awesome job with that, and that has kind of bled over to our defense. They're so physical. They're on the spot. They're playing their marks. Just fun to watch. I believe they've only given up 77 points, which is probably number one, I believe, in the state. So we've had great defenses over the last few years, but I think that this defense, with some guys that were a little young, different places, but they've been phenomenal, and I think it's because of how Coach Peary probably coaches that, and because he's been so accustomed to how those things were done at Ravens.
Take a look at this real quick as you mentioned that. Roane County this season has given up 77 points out of Class AA. No other team under 100. The next best is Mingo Central at 101, and then 105 for Scott.
Mingo Central was actually a point less than us going into Friday night's game.
Yeah, they actually were giving up. I said 10.7 in the interview. It was actually 10.9. Sorry.
I could give you a little bit more in-depth detail of that, but
yeah, Roane County, the only team right now in Class AA to hold teams combined under 100 points. Roane County, on the opposite side of things, not too shabby offensively, scoring 314. That is in the top 10. There's some other teams there lacing it up here. Scott with 376. We're 328. Fairmont Senior 322. 344 for East Fairmont. How about that team this year? They're coming on very, very well. So, yeah, the defense needs to get that really, really good nod. They've played so unbelievably well this year. I wanted to mention a couple of plays, but you already mentioned the run by Brandon Richardson. We have a new segment, Coach, that I don't know if you've seen, but Paramount Surveying is sponsoring our play of the game. And the play of the game was supposed to be the Brandon Richardson run that set up that play. What ended up accidentally being the play of the game was one that was, I mentioned it was so funny to me in the weather that we played in and how fast that first half was, because both teams ran the football the entirety of the first half. It was a pass that was the difference in that first half. And I go back to that. We talked just slightly about, I thought, that just reminds me of when Jacob Greathouse was a fifth grader, and we said, hey, dude, you ever played quarterback? He said, I've never played football before. And he was starting to make plays like that at the youth level. He just has a knack for making plays and stepping up in big moments. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected. He had pressure from the outside, planted the foot, got the kid moving the wrong way, got outside of him. And then in nasty weather, in wet, rainy, cold weather, on the run, sideways and forward, he drilled a dart right to the corner of the end zone, and Saul makes a big catch there. That was not easy to make because there's a lot of pressure. You're wide open, and it was bobbled a bit and then brought in because, that was a huge play.
He waited to the till he had to release the ball.
Yeah.
That was the most impressive thing for me, is he had the timing down enough to say, hold it, and then threw the dart.
So
it was unbelievable.
If you want to know why he threw that so well, is because we made it a point to make sure the ball was wet on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
Which he was so mad about in practice, because not only it was one ball and it got doused with water between every play, and by about halfway through the offensive practice, it weighed about 10.5 pounds. So, but no, it was a really good play, and
on both ends, it was a great throw.
Yeah.
An unbelievable concentration after coming back. Like you said, those breakdown routes where you're just trying to get to a spot to get yourself open.
Yep.
The concentration, the pass, the weather, it was awesome. And like Drew said, the Richardson run was going to be my replay of the game, because it kind of gave us that momentum.
Yeah.
In that drive. I mean, it was going to take nothing away from that awesome touchdown, but I just felt like in that time, that was kind of the spark that we needed to get into the end zone to break the game open. You know what I mean?
Well, Coach, we talked about that last week. Is this group of guys they make big plays in big game situations because they're all big games for you guys at this point, right? You take care of business on Friday night. You get a lot of people talking. That's just ancillary benefits, honestly. People are like, whoa, this Roane County team is for real. Like, yeah, we kind of knew it. But, again, you got to prove yourself week in and week out, whether it's to the state or whatever. You're just proving yourself doing what you do. And now a lot of people are like, oh, wow, this is a real team. Yeah, we are. But You turn right around, you got another one coming up this week, and this one is obviously now made even larger because of the 2 victories last week. You guys against Mingo Central, close victory for North Marion over Herbert Hoover, and so it's going to be number 1 versus number 2 for the first time in County Stadium history. That's cool. I like that. That adds some flavor to it. It adds some excitement around the state. People are going to be tuned in again as they were against Mingo Central. We had a lot of viewers, by the way, Coach, that were unaffiliated with either side. So this week will probably be another one. Yeah. Fred Persinger was watching a good bit of it. So it's one of those things where, okay, we have built ourselves to this point. We talked about it last week. We've built our program to the point where you expect to be in games like this. This is just another game. It's an important game, just like they all are. But it's really fun to have this opportunity to be 1 versus 2 at home at your facility at County Stadium. And take what you will from it. There's last year to think about and to get that little extra motivation for your guys if they need any extra motivation. Not that I think they do. I think your guys know what they need to do.
Yeah, these guys are they're different. I've said that once already. And I don't think I don't think they even need that. And we mentioned it on Monday. We talked about it Monday. But I think these guys are so focused on the present and what they're doing. Obviously last year hurt. They all wanted to go on. But it's a new year. It's a new team, and maybe somewhere inside them they feel that. They don't express that type of stuff a lot. But I think more than anything, it's about playing the game right now. It's about us and what we're doing, and it's about them continuing to prove who they are. And I think that was it was a big statement Friday night. And if I kind of pushed a topic last week, it was you have the opportunity to gain respect, to allow people to see who you are.
Yeah.
Well, that's magnified even more now.
Yeah.
Right. Coming into this week, we were number 1. We dropped to 2. North Marion jumped us by, a 10th and a half. And it is a matchup. It's a big matchup. And there's a lot of comparisons that you could get into that I'm not going to get into. But they're a great ball team. We're a good ball team. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's why they play the game on Friday night at 7:30. All the talking heads who say, Roan's going to win, or North Marion's going to slaughter them. That is
none of that
obsolete.
matters. Yeah.
That really doesn't matter. What matters is at 7:30 on Friday night, which team goes out and plays 48 minutes of football and does it mistake-free and wins 3 phases of the game and ends up winning the ball game because of it.
Because you have 2 solid teams that know how to do that, and it just comes down to who's going to make it happen more than less. Overcome a mistake here or a mistake there, or play better here, or make a big play here or there, whatever phase of the game it is. I thought you mentioned something that really hit with me. With this group of guys, they are in the moment. They are in the present. I don't know how many people were at last year's banquet, but I told some stories last year about some of the younger guys, Noah Jett in particular, about when he was playing for us in Midget League and how he would just tear your head off during a play. I mean, he'd go out, he'd be in the backfield 7 straight times. And as soon as that whistle blew and he's back in the huddle, he's making some commotion and having a blast. He took it at that point play by play in the present moment. When the whistle blows, I'm gonna destroy you, and then as soon as the whistle's done, I'm having a fun time with my buddies in the huddle. That's a microcosm, John, of this group of guys. You've been around them as long as anybody else. That is how they are, not just in football, not just in other sports. That's how this group is in life. They are in the moment.
I have those guys at the house pretty much with different groups at different times, and you never really know what's going to happen. luckily I've been building this edition on. That's why I wasn't here last week, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. So that way I have a little bit of privacy in my own home because I had 11 kids at my house 2 weekends ago. It's just how they are, man, and it's been cool it's been awesome to watch them grow and to see that, and to see them still doing having the most fun in a game that they love.
Yeah.
And not only doing it, but doing it at the top level in the state. It's unbelievable for these kids. It's unbelievable for the Raider football program, man. It's just awesome.
So it comes down to Friday night, as Coach Burdett said. It's just two really, really good teams, and they're going to face off against each other, and whoever plays better wins. That's the fun part about it. There's no other thing that you can say about it other than whoever shows up and whoever performs at the higher level of this high-level contest is probably going to be the ones that end up winning this ball game. And I put a lot of confidence in this group right now, the way they are, the way they play, the way they attack ball games. You wouldn't know it. I tell you what, I've been down waiting for Coach Burdett for the interviews, and I see the guys in the warm-up lines, and they're cutting up here and there. I don't think I've seen them as wild and raucous as they were right before the Mingo Central game. One of if you want to call it the bigger games, right. They were just joking and having fun, and I am shocked and impressed that Coach Burnett's able to be like, what do you do?
Right.
It's just what you do with them. You just let them get ready.
After the big run, they got them down to the 3-yard line. Right. So many teams are gonna chew on each other. So many teams are going to doubt themselves, and there was zero of that. And I talked about it during the broadcast. You could feel when Mingo had enough.
Yeah, you could feel when they broke.
Yeah.
And you could see it in the body language late third quarter.
Yeah.
You could see that very quickly from our vantage point. And that's just, again, it's a testament to your guys and how they win the war of attrition. If it's a close matchup, they're going to keep coming at you. They're never going to stop coming at you. Yeah. And it really wears people down mentally and physically. Yeah. It didn't hurt that you guys were running severe amounts of heavy, which that
I like
hurt.
The tempo, too, man.
I enjoyed that.
The tempo had them just like gasping for air, like, oh gosh, here we go again, and it was beautiful.
In 21, fellas, against Ripley, we made the statement that heavy will break any team.
Oh yeah,
you were there.
Yeah.
And from that point on, our guys have bought into that, and the majority of them would just as soon run that and that alone, because they believe, their mindset is they believe that we can break them.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
But we just got to do it. And, we never stray too far away from it. You got to get in and out, but it's always there, and they're always willing and ready.
Yeah.
Well, 21 at St. Mary's is kind of the
that was the entry level, right?
That was okay. So at halftime, we're like,
we got to put heavy in.
We're going to put heavy in.
Cody and Coach May and Coach Pierce is like, hey, we got to put heavy in. And I said, well, there's only 6 minutes left in halftime. And they said, plenty. And I said, well, okay.
Here we go.
And it won the game for us.
Zero prep for heavy through preseason, through summer stuff. It was just 6 minutes, let's go. Cody in the end zone on the far end said, hey, we got to do this.
Yeah.
And it was because we were battling cramps and all those kind of things. But, yeah.
It has blossomed into a little more multifaceted type of heavy, which is really nice, and it's fun for you guys to be able to call those different wrinkles to it, and it's fun for us to see different wrinkles every once in a while. I'm like, well, I never saw that part of it, and you're rolling that out as you need to, slowly here and there. You're changing things, you're adapting it. And I'm sure you're going to have some of that this week, and I'm not going to ask you about X's and O's because I tried to do that a couple weeks ago, and he's like, you're trying to get me to give away secrets. I said, no. All I know is this. When it comes down to it, Coach, again, Friday night is just you versus them, number one, them versus number two, you. And it's a great opportunity for you guys to show what you can do. It's senior night. Obviously, that's always a special night for you guys. Be the last guaranteed regular home game of the regular season, obviously. Of course, when we look towards playoff time, the chances are we'll be back there. But it's senior night for your guys, and it's an opportunity to honor some really special guys.
Yeah, they're limited this year, which is good for us. We've got 4 seniors, Brandon Richardson, Jacob Bunner, Sawyer Hunt, and Andy Jetton. That's our 4 seniors, and of course, one water girl, Olivia Moorhead. So, as far as what's going to take place on the track with football, it's going to be pretty short and sweet. It's not going to take long. We have a reception beforehand, and families come in, and there's snacks and stuff in the wrestling room, and everybody gets to be around each other and talk and communicate for a bit, and we get to go in and mingle with the families and the kids, and then at 5:30 we go out and start our regular pregame stuff. But these guys, they're a special group. Brandon's been with us for 2 years, and has just been such an impact on our football team for the last 2 years. Jacob Bunner is a 4-year guy and about a 3 3/4 year starter.
Yeah.
I think the first game he started was at Braxton his freshman year, and he hasn't come back off the field since. Sawyer Hunt is a kid, and I've said it. I'll continue to say it, and I don't know that I've actually said it in public, but Sawyer is our most improved football player without a doubt. Not that Sawyer wasn't good last year. I just think that he has come leaps and bounds in the last 12 months.
It's the role that he had to fill.
Yes.
And he not only filled the role, but he exceeded what anybody. And it's not a knock against him, but he just exceeded what everybody.
He was on a path anyway. He was doing what he needed to do each and every single year. His body caught way up this year.
Yeah, now that's a backstory. So when Saul came in, I kept telling. I remember talking to him in the spring of his freshman year, and I said, "Listen, Saul, you got to be patient, but your body's going to catch up, and when it does, you're going to see everything that you can do." And Saul has really grown and developed from last year, and he was good size last year, but really grown and developed from last year, and just his play on the field, his leadership, all that stuff has just blossomed, and he's become the player that I remember telling him as a freshman that he would be one day. Then of course Andy Jetton, Andy moved in here. Was Andy a freshman? So Andy's been here for 4 years. Andy played in the secondary for the majority of that time, and then this spring, summer, I said, "Hey, Andy, we really need you to move down and play defensive end for us." And unselfishly, Andy agreed. Took a little bit of convincing, but I said, "Hey, you can either play in the secondary, and you can run around all the time and maybe not be involved in the inner workings every play, or you can get up there at defensive end and you can get after it every play and have a chance to be an impact on every play."
And Andy's been one of those kids that's worked his body.
Yes.
Freshman year, probably 125, 130 pounds, and now he's probably 175, 185 maybe.
Yeah, he's got a really good build, and Andy's he was a perfect fit for our defensive end because he's lanky, he's strong, and he's got really good speed. And I appreciate what Andy's done. I appreciate all 4 of those guys and the mark that they've left on our program, and will continue to leave because we're nowhere near being done this year.
Yeah.
They're the leaders of this group, and they're guaranteed 2 more games, guaranteed. Then after that, it's up to them.
Yep.
And the rest of their brothers. So. Very proud to honor these guys on Friday night, and just hope that all 4 of them go out and have a game of a lifetime. And and so does the rest of our guys, and we get a big win Friday night.
That would be big for us. We'll flip hats. Well, you didn't wear one again, but switch hats into the realm of meteorology. Now, Matt White says that he's going to try to take over your job, just so you know. He failed miserably on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he kept looking at his Doppler radar saying, this rain is gone by 7:30, 8 o'clock. I know that's not what he said. I think he said 8:30, and by 8:45 it was gone. But we gave him a lot of grief throughout the first half of the game. Where's this rain you said was gone, Matt? He's like, now I know. It's been good weather, and it's getting better this week, Coach. Is it going to be good on Friday?
Yeah, surprisingly, after last week, I thought we'd already broken over the edge and winter was here, but not so much. 76 degrees and sunny on Friday, and so you're probably talking mid to low 60s by kickoff.
Wow.
I got to tell you, it is the time of year where the shadows are cast early on County Field, very early. I wander my way into the shadows about 4:30, 4:45 on the visitor sideline. So it'll be cool. It'll be nice and crisp, but great football weather Friday night.
Well, there's obviously no excuses for people not to show up for this one. Number one versus number two. Number one versus number two. Senior night. The best weather you're ever going to get pumped into Roane County in late October for a Friday night football game. There are zero excuses for people not to show up for this game.
Yeah, if you are not in the stands, you want to listen to us, you want to pull it up on your phone, do that.
We'll appreciate
it. But
it.
if you're not in the stands, you're wrong.
I hope numbers are down on our streams.
Yeah.
Because I want to see people, I want to see the stands from one side to the other packed full to the brim.
That is the ultimate compliment.
Yes.
To what these kids
absolutely
have done.
Yes.
And if like I said, if you're not there, you're wrong. Whatever it takes.
The playoff games last year, the first game, horrible weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horrible. We had a good crowd, but horrible weather. The second game, weather was good, temperatures were terrible.
Yeah.
Friday night is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you got the number one and the number two team in the state for the first time ever in Roane County high school history going at it in week 10 of the season.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a lot that comes off of this game.
Yes.
Yes.
The winner is possibly more than likely going into the playoffs as the number one seed.
Yeah.
It is huge. Get there. These kids deserve it. The kids have worked since this past January.
Yeah.
They have prepared. They have worked. They've got goals, and this one is right in their wheelhouse for what they want.
Let me just say, if you have ever thought about coming to a game and you haven't yet, this would be the one that I urge you to get to. Call your friends, call your relatives, call your mom and dad, grandpa, call your nieces and nephews. Tell them you're going to pick them up.
Yeah.
Tell them you guys you'll get there. Call your neighbor. Tell them, hey, this is the one I'm going to take you to. If I've not taken you to a game yet, if you've wondered about what it's like to be there, this would be the game to show up to. And we hope that the stands are absolutely packed full of maroon and silver faithful. And we hope that Roane County it shows up and shows out in force. I know there's a lot going on right now already. Of course, anytime you talk about big games, Handy Mart's coming around, and they are doing this big thing around businesses this week, and they'll continue to do that kind of cool stuff as well. Just tremendous building of the pride in Roane County. Again, they're just continuing to try to build that pride.
They were so instrumental last year, Amy and Scott, and what they did, in my opinion, for our community to allow them to show appreciation, allow them to come in and be a part of what we were doing, which was a big deal. We had a big bonfire over at the new property by the walking trail. And again, Amy contacted me the other day. She's contacted Angie several times this week. They are behind us. They want everybody to get there and be a part.
So we invite you, please come out early and get yourself up into the stands at County Stadium for number 1 North Marion, number 2 Roane County. Pre-game coverage 7:05. The kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. John Penna. Nice. Oh man,
that sounds nice.
7:30 does sound nice, Coach. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. John Penna, as always, you get the final, sort of the final word.
Yeah, final word-ish. Hey, listen, history, opportunity for Roane County to do it once again Friday night here at County Stadium. Beautiful turf, and one of the biggest games in Roane County history. And Coach Burdett, myself, we've been here since day one when the school was open. I cannot wait because it gives me the Spencer High School chills.
Yeah.
Those kind of vibes. Just excited for that.
The best thing about that is we can say that for us, for the kids, just another Friday night.
I don't want to.
That group of kids.
I don't want to be the last guy to talk, so somebody's got to finish after this. All right, but I want you guys to know, 13 years ago, this was part of the vision. What's happening tomorrow night, Friday night?
Yep.
What's happened last year and what started in 21?
Yeah,
that's all been part of the vision when this thing started for me as a head coach in 13.
Yeah.
I remember the Spencer days. I remember driving through town and being nothing but blue and gold. I wanted to get that back to where this county was then, as far as the support and the community involvement in that type of program. Let's do it. Let's be there for these guys because they deserve it.
Absolutely. Could not have said it better, and I get to talk at the end, so you're good to go, Coach Burdett. Thanks to Coach Burdett. Thanks to John Penna. Again, folks, it's Friday Night Football. Roane County hosting North Marion in number 1 versus 2 matchup. We please urge you to come out, wear your maroon and charcoal at this point. It doesn't matter. Get out there and support this Roane County team. They absolutely have earned it. And again, as I said, for this group of guys, it's just another Friday, man. They're just going to go out on the field and do what they do. Thanks to everybody for joining us here tonight. We're back next Wednesday. It's been the Raider Review.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing,